It looks pretty racist that some citizens are chased down like a dog, gassed out their car, and executed on camera. And they know, we know, you know, everyone knows you're about to kill them. And then we have other citizens of the United States who are 44 count felons, rapists, hanging out with rapists, and they get to hang out in the Oval Office and be the president of the United States and play around with executive orders and get rid of your food stamps and start wars. So maybe some of y'all have heard the recent news, maybe not, but I think it's pretty messed up that Dallas police chased Mike King, which was Jasmine Crockett's bodyguard, and executed the man. They killed him. And that's pretty messed up, because the way that I look at this person's, I think it's really messed up that a lot of people look at this black man right off the bat and say he was bad, he did bad, he deserves bad things, and that's it. Because to me, it looks like this person, though he did make bad choices in the past, it looks like he was trying to flip a leaf and make better choices as he moves into the future. So we're going to watch some videos. I'm going to read you some articles, and then we're going to finish up with some videos. So let's do that. By the way, this is not any breaking news channel. It's just my opinion. Some people like to hear other people's opinions. I'm one of those people who do. Lately, I've been watching the mop up. So if you guys are watching a channel that's interesting, throw it down there in the comments. And this is not going to be long because I don't have much room on my phone. Grab your smokes.
This is a bit of a stunner, a violent and deadly outcome for a member of Jasmine Crockett's team. A member of her security detail shot to death off in Dallas. For details, Brooke Taylor runs that down now in Texas. Brooke, what happened?
Hi, Bill. That's right. Sources say this longtime security guard of Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett was killed in a SWAT standoff here in Dallas earlier this week. So sources say that he was under investigation for impersonating a police officer. On Thursday, officers followed him into a parking garage where police say he barricaded himself in his car before he was forced out by tear gas and then pulled a gun on officers. Well, sources say the man, 39-year-old Diamond Robinson, went by the alias Mike King. He had a lengthy rap sheet with arrests as far back as 2010. He's been in and out of jail for theft charges and violating probation, raising questions about how he was able to obtain this high-level security position for a sitting member of Congress. Now, on election night right here, King was seen by Congresswoman Crockett's side.
A lot of people, and I think I can understand from Jasmine Crockett's perspective. You know, people are doing business like this. She's hiring somebody to do a bodyguard to protect her for security purposes. So people are doing business, because I think a lot of people just, they kind of think way out the box.
Texas Senate seat to State Representative James Tallarico. And officials also say that he was running a side business where he was placing officers.
I don't live in Texas. I cannot vote for Jasmine anyways. My sister lives in that district, and that's part of the reason why she had moved to the district. So I got to ask her how she feels about the different changes and what's been going on over in Texas. But I am kind of like similar to Stacey Abrams. I'm not happy that Jasmine Crockett did not run her race, but there's always chances in the future. And I feel what I'm hearing a lot of my elders say is that they don't get in the race early enough. And the similar with Kamala, that they got in their race pretty late, which makes a difference of their voices being heard.
So driving in this replica undercover police car. We've reached out to Crockett's office to comment on all of this, but we have not heard back, Bill.
Wow. Okay, more to come on that. Brooke, thanks. Brooke Taylor live in Dallas. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has now confirmed what CBS Texas was first to report last week exclusively through our J.D. Miles. Her office now acknowledging a convicted felon who was a wanted fugitive when he was killed by police last week did work on her security team. And Dallas police have also released body cam videos that show the shooting of that man who they say illegally masqueraded as a law enforcement officer for years.
He was her right-hand man. He was her bodyguard. He was the one.
Let's pause for a second. Everybody keep in mind, it's kind of hard for me to believe. Are we watching a Fox channel? CBS? But it's kind of hard for me to believe. There's a lot of false prophets, and there's a kind of hard for me to believe a lot of what they say about people out here, like the things that they say about Renee Good, the negative things that they said about Alex Pretty, how they said that he had a stolen gun and he did not. He had his registered gun. They stole his gun. So that's just what I have to say. I really do have to, with Trump being in office, with this administration, we really have to be careful how we hear about people, because some of the people who are, I feel, angels, they try to paint as horrible devils. And people like Trump, who you see like case after case after case, and just mistreating women is the worst part that I feel about him. And they try to paint him, acts like Hitler, acts worse than Putin. And they just try to paint him like a Jesus. He just like Jesus.
Presented himself as a professional bodyguard for Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
Upon meeting him, he did show me his Capitol Police ID. He had a Capitol Police pin on his shirt.
Janice Crowther is a retired Dallas police officer who now works as a dignitary protection specialist. She says the man she called Mike took this photo of her with Crockett during a campaign stop she was hired to work last year. Last week, the Congresswoman's bodyguard led Dallas police on a chase to a hospital parking garage, where body cam video.
This is a little bit of it. On a chase. I mean, people can feel when their life is at danger. And I'm pretty sure this person felt that. But the charges that we're going to go through, that you're going to see on these videos, are going to be that of, like, bouncing checks. Something that's really just not shit. They said impersonating a law officer. So what are you trying to tell me, that are you trying to say that he didn't have his credentials correctly? I may rethink that.
Led Dallas police on a chase to a hospital parking garage. Her body cam video shows he was shot and killed after pulling a gun that authorities say was stolen. It turns out that King's name was actually Diamond Mazaray Robinson. The 39-year-old had multiple convictions for theft as recently as 2017 before changing his name.
Was it really stolen? Changing his name? He probably wanted to, like most people do, flip a leaf, especially if he's had a troubled past. He's in security. What do you think most of these guys in security, what do you think their past looks like? Some of them are cops and some of them are not the good apples. But not talking about this gentleman.
It's personal bodyguard, but also start an online business helping law enforcement officers find off-duty work.
He's very good at hiding his true identity.
Police say it was stolen government license plates from a Navy.
And you found his true identity, and to me it didn't seem that fucking bad.
Onto him last week in downtown Dallas.
Robinson had been using fictitious information and wearing police-style uniforms to falsely represent himself as a federal agent.
Authorities later found 11 weapons inside Robinson's apartment. The Congresswoman's office released a statement today saying she was saddened and shocked. We are praying for the friends and family of the man that we knew as Mike King. Mike had been in and around our team for years. There was never any reason to suspect that he wasn't who he held himself out to be.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm just as shocked as I'm sure Miss Crockett was. I trusted him. I had no reason to believe that he was not who he said he was. He checked all the boxes of being a dignitary protection specialist. Well, I think this whole incident is going to bring about a change to where people are vetted better.
He kept her safe, but unfortunately he couldn't keep himself safe. Jasmine Crockett's fugitive bodyguard shot dead by SWAT team report. Next time y'all announce Trump, y'all need to say 44 count felon Trump. Okay. We got a fugitive president and y'all don't give a shit. But y'all give a shit about these nobodies who just be bouncing checks. So security for Representative Jasmine Crockett was shot dead by police in Dallas this week, according to a report published by CBS News on Friday. I still feel like we can have respect for this person. I feel like it's easy for people not to have respect for people with tan and dark skin due to atrocities throughout history. So we can have respect for this person still. Law enforcement sources told CBS News Texas that the man going by Mike King, who was wanted by authorities, was killed after a standoff with Dallas police SWAT officers. You know how many white boys are not wanted or wanted by authorities, but I'd be seeing them run over officers and shit. Pistol with the officer with the gun, and the officer just take them in. One piece, safe and sound. Maybe a little scuffled up though. King, I just feel like they didn't need to kill him, and I just feel like they don't care. We saw how they treated Alex Pretty and Renee Good though. King reportedly drove to a parking lot to barricade himself inside a vehicle, and I believe I would have done the same thing if cops were chasing me and no one's gonna save my life but me, and they're basically coming to execute you. Police said King was forced out by tear gas by pulling a gun on officers. Well, maybe he could have kept the gun up. Or maybe he was trying to show him that he had something. Well, you're supposed to keep your hands up, right? I feel like even if he had kept the gun on him, they still would have did it Alex Pretty. They still would have, like, took it off of him and shot him. Those are law enforcement, though. That's not like they're not under the same bad training as ICE. But, man, especially when you have dark skin, it's just anything can happen, which is the truth. And that's when that happens even if you're being pulled over for like a simple traffic stop. You think anything can happen. King reportedly, it's just best not to see them. King reportedly used several aliases and had a business called Off-Duty Police Service. Let me pull out real quick. However that you guys might see this business to be, he's still doing his best to help out and hire people in the community. Which is more than what Trump can say. Taking your food stamps and stuff. Which put police officers in moonlight jobs, like 1099 jobs. Sources said that King was wanted for impersonating a police officer and had claimed that to be on force while running his business. Oh. That's when it's not legit. I'm disappointed. So if you guys want to go over the articles in the video, it's going to be in the description of this video. Crockett is a fresh off Democrat and primary loss of the U.S. Senate after being defeated by James Tallarico last week. The closing days of the campaign saw some drama. I didn't see any drama. As the Congresswoman's campaign, I was upset. I was recharging. As the Congresswoman's campaign ejected an Atlantic reporter from one of her rallies, and hold on, but you ain't seen Margaret Taylor Greene just tase a random black person at one of hers? In a separate incident reported called police on CNN journalist. She did? On CNN? Oh my God, CNN, what you doing?
Security guard for Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Police say he was wanted for posing as a federal agent and using a fake name and credentials. Fox 4's David Santendry has...
Y'all go so hard for people like this who probably wouldn't affect economy that much. I really feel like it's racially tensioned, like racially fueled. But y'all ain't doing nothing about Trump going to war and shit. And just bang, bang, banging on Iran. Like, y'all just people, racist people out here is just the most hypocritical motherfuckers in the world.
Hey, stop the car! Stop the car! Move your car! Move your car! Stop! Stop!
What are we doing, moving or stopping? I kind of agree. Like, y'all confusing me. I'm finna go. I'm not even detained. I need to have the lawyer on the phone. Talk to the lawyer here.
Officers working to serve a warrant to Diamond Mazier Robinson last week.
Hey, Sarge, can you roll through this light on us? We're continuing on.
Officers lose sight of the vehicle for several hours.
Are we really just gonna get the warrant, though? Because that's really not what happened, right? It's not if. This is not if. He did not get that warrant. Instead, he got a bullet. Y'all could have hollered, put the gun down. Put the gun down, like y'all be doing. Put the gun, slide over to me. Y'all be so young. Y'all breathe. Y'all be so scared. You're already behind a car. Well, anyways. They would have done it for someone else. I am not playing with you.
Later, finding Robinson armed in a parking garage at Children's Medical Center. During a standoff, officers used tear gas to get Robinson out of a vehicle. Robinson exited and then pointed a gun. 3 officers fired weapons. Robinson was killed. The handgun in Robinson's hand was reported stolen, according to police. But this case has gained national attention because of who Robinson pretended to be.
He's very good at hiding his true identity.
Robinson had a criminal history, including prison time for auto theft, likely preventing him from starting a legitimate career in law enforcement or security. At some point, he started his own security business going by the name Mike King. He even recruited police officers to work for him while off duty on the app Roll Call, an app Dallas Police Department has been working with since 2024, allowing officers to find side gigs. Mike King's business, Off-Duty Police Services, was listed with Texas's Secretary of State, according to Dallas PD, which allowed him to get verified on the app last year.
But he had been living this for many years.
At some point, Robinson, again under the name Mike King, became a member of Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett's security team. Crockett says her team followed standard protocols while hiring the man who was able to, quote, somehow circumvent the vetting process, adding there was never any reason to suspect that he wasn't who he held himself out to be. Dallas PD says it eventually flagged Robinson because of an Irving police bulletin about a stolen federal license plate on a vehicle.
Weren't sure who he was at the time.
Police say a Dallas officer who had worked off-duty security gigs for the man known as Mike King spoke up, recognizing the vehicle and its connection to Mike King.
He had just remembered working with him.
That's when a Dallas police investigation uncovered Mike King was Diamond Mazier Robinson.
The intelligence unit had been working on it about a week and a half or 2 weeks or so.
And Robinson had an active warrant for cashing forged checks dating back to 2017 and a parole violation. That's what led us to the deadly standoff at...
Parole violation and bounce checks? All the other stuff is, like, worse, though. Like, you know, taking the plate, you know, with the federal plates and, you know. That's not that good. Because I was just about to say, he was trying to flip belief, y'all. What the fuck? But, I mean, you got serial murderers and rapists out there. And they be like, kick us the gun. Like, for real. I just feel like y'all didn't have to go extreme Rambo.
I know that multiple colleagues on this side of the aisle have faced death threats. In fact, somebody tried to kill one of my colleagues. And frankly, I don't know if this FBI or under your leadership, if those people would have been caught. I don't have any confidence in you. And if we start talking about the reasons that I lack confidence, we could start with you not just wanting to acknowledge some simple facts. Simple facts like the vast majority of the threats are coming from right-wing extremism. And I know my colleagues have tried to stress this, but I decided that I would maybe do it in a different way. Number one, I have a couple of UCs. Ken Buck, one of multiple Republicans receiving death threats for voting against Jim Jordan as House Speaker.
Without objection.
Another one, Republican lawmaker says she received death threats after voting against Jim Jordan in Speaker's race.
Without objection.
In addition, there was another one from another colleague who now is leaving Congress because they said that they were calling his wife anonymously and threatening her life to the extent that she ended up sleeping with a firearm.
Without objection.
Okay, so here's the deal. How are we supposed to have confidence when you're sitting up here telling the Senate yesterday that it will take you 14 years before you can get the FBI fully staffed to do their jobs? You're also now redirecting resources so that they can go and play ICE agents on the streets. You're getting rid of your most qualified people. And even when it came down to somebody that you consider to be a friend, you were posted up having some fancy dinner to the extent that you posted not only once erroneously, you posted twice erroneously as it relates to catching somebody. And then you want to go and say, let me take a victory lap. Because honestly, if it wasn't for parents deciding that they were going to turn in their child, it seems like y'all wouldn't have got there. Even though he literally confessed online. So I'm confused about what it is that the FBI is doing except for trying to put on a show for the apprentice or whatever you want to call him. The day after all of this took place, there was domestic terrorism that was taking place at HBCUs. They were targeted. Yet I didn't hear anything from the FBI about what was going on. And again, black people kept saying, how did we end up in this? Because the numbers are so very clear that white supremacy is a problem. And honestly, I've not heard anything out of you today that makes me believe that you're going to do anything about the white supremacy problem. The one that is leading to children being killed, children being shot, as well as members of their community as they're worshiping in their churches.
The time of the gentlelady has expired. If the gentleman would like to respond to.
No, Mr. Jordan. Kash didn't respond. He get on everybody's nerves. He's supremacist like you.